So I pull all the hair like out with your hand. Then you clean it in your sink, and then you set it aside for like 48 hours to dry. So you're going to need to have multiple brushes. For more than 25, like 2 days, more than 48 hours, because bugs can't survive for more than, you know what I mean? Like that's what you're different types of brushes. There's the boar bristle, which I like, but I find really hard to use. They're like, you're going to need a lot of muscles to do a full head of hair with the boar bristle brush. I use boar bristles for like finishing work to make hair really smooth on the top after I've given somebody like a bump or something. It's more for like styling. These are my favorite. I use these all the time. I love them because I love this guy. And these ion, either the ceramic ion, so the body like heats up. These aren't so tight. They work through the hair really nicely. And if you should all be like, if you're doing nothing, you should be doing this. Because right now I'll tell you, after you do this for about 40 seconds, your hand will get tired. And you're going to be like, oh, if you need to be able to do this straight for a good like 3 minutes. This is the key, especially at the ends, and I'll show you. But when you're smoothing out ends, you're holding the blow dryer here, but you're spinning. So bringing it through is easier. It's like you're stronger in your biceps, so it's easier to like bring it through. But at the end, you're going to need to spin to get those ends to smooth out. And so this is the key right here. And I remember this hurting so bad for when I first started. So you build some sort of muscle up in here. One or two backups of everything you use, which is kind of hard at first because you don't even know what products you like at first. So once you know what products you like, have a couple backups because people will want to buy them. And you should already know what you're going to sell them at, what price. Because it's awkward trying to calculate it when you're like, okay, so I paid this much, and then I want you to pay like $10. So it's going to be this, so just know. And I usually, and this should have, no, it doesn't. Okay. So I put those little tiny white stickers. I just put the price on everything. The brushes and the product that I have backup. So that, because people will be like, what shampoo are you using? It's so great. But I don't try to like push my products. Like it's important to have backup because they are gonna want like what you have. Okay. For blow dries, so you shampoo the hair. We already talked about shampoos. Towel dry it really good. So you're gonna look at her scalp. She has a really good scalp, 2 good scalps in a row, because she has volume up here. So, like, my head right here, it's like flat. So I always have to give myself like a bump because just to wear it flat does not look good. So you're going to look here, you look at like the hairline, towel dry your hair as much as you can. Ask your clients, like, does your hair frizz or does it like blow dry easy?
It blow dries easy. It's really straight.
Okay. And
so
do you
I like
want body and a little like curl?
Yeah. Just
okay.
Whatever you
as much as I can.
As long as it has body.
Okay. Okay, so you like height, like Texas hair. You too.
Not that big.
I always go bigger because, to be honest with you guys,
it
falls. Like, the only reason all the people in the pictures look amazing is because they just got their hair and makeup done. Within an hour, half your makeup's gone and your hair is like what it is. It's like, here's what I am.
So as big as you want.
Okay. So for her, she has a pretty big cowlick right here. So I'm going to start on her calyx. And I remember when I was in school, I remember thinking like, somebody came in and she was like, start your blow dry in the front. Because A, that's what your client sees first. And I remember specifically thinking, no, because then if you start in the front, then everything in the back is going to get the front wet. You'll have complete control over every section you blow dry. When you don't, just clip it all. Just clip it all away. However you're, like, if you want to do your sections in a clip and then work section by section, do that. I usually will do that like in the back. Once I get to the back, I'll clip up her apex out of my way to get like everything in the back there. Right now I'm over directing. always around the face, I pull forward and blow back. I just like the way that it comes out, where it's like kind of swoop, the swoop look. So forward and back. What?
You never use the nozzle, or it's only...
Okay, so in my experience, I will. Okay, so she doesn't really need it because her hair's straight. I'm not worried about, like, if somebody had, like, I would use it on you. And anyone that had curly hair and I really needed to straighten around their face, I use it then, and then I put it away. Because it doesn't have to be perfectly straight everywhere on curly hair, just where, you know, where it's really seen. Then you can get it, like, straight, but not, like, perfectly straight. The reason is, I found that they shorten the life of my blow dryer. And this is the, I think it's like 175, 150 for this blow dryer, so I don't want to shorten its life.
Why would it shorten the life? It's like...
It just heats up, and I just found like over the last like 15 years that heating it up causes the wires, it just starts to act funny.
Okay, that's...
So I tend to not use those that much. But, I mean, those are really just to keep you're gonna get good at like blow drying in the direction that you want, the exact section that you want. Like right now, it might be a little harder for you, but you'll get better at it. And then notice that, like, yeah, her hair looks like it's dry. It is, but I'm also smoothing it out and getting it to like do exactly what I want. So that's why I keep going, and I tell all my clients, like, when you think you're done blow drying your hair, blow dry your hair for another 10 minutes. Because that's when you're going to get rid of all your frizz and stuff like that. If you're going to flat iron somebody's hair, do not sweat the blow dry. Flat irons will get the hair as flat and straight as you need it. So why waste all your time, you know? Like, blow dry curly hair all around the hairline, get, you know, all around where the parts are going to be. And, you know, if you're going to flat iron, just get it dry and then just go to town with the flat iron. I love wet to dry flat irons. I don't use them wet to dry. I use them like a normal flat iron, but they work so well. Those extra seam rolls just like, they just make that hair like bone straight. So I love those. If you're going to curl somebody's hair, you're really, like, if I were going to curl her hair, I'd just be like blow drying her hair like this. Just get it all, like, because you can use the curling iron, you can smooth and curl. So there's no need to, like, waste all that time and energy. The other thing is, doing a blow dry is exhausting. When you first do it, you're going to feel overwhelmed, like you're nervous and you're like, it's going to take forever. Like, you have to learn how to just kind of go into a zen mode where you're just like, it's going to take 25 minutes. This is going to take, depending on the hair, it's going to take what it's going to take. So there's no, like, sense in just being like, I gotta hurry, I gotta hurry, I gotta hurry, I gotta hurry, you know? Because that's just going to stress you out and make you hate them that much more. Hair's, you know, it's going to take as long as it's going to take. So, using your hands is really good because the oils on your hands are good for the hair. Helps kind of, for some hair, like smoothing it out. Does anybody else have advice on blow dries that they found that, like, is awesome? Yet? Yeah, when someone has straight hair, being like tedious with the brush is not really necessary. Always like blow dry at the root first, and you'll find that the drier the hair is, the easier it slips through. So if you start at the root and you just get the root dry, then you'll get to the end faster. And then for curling, you just hold it like a curling iron, honestly, until it's dry. Because if I were to do this on her, it wouldn't curl all up here. It would just, if I pull it like this and I blow dry her, she's going to have a little bend on her ends. So, and the bigger the brush, the straighter the hair. So if she wants more curl, then I would just put a smaller brush in and just hold it in there. And this is where you'll get good at talking because you're going to be in the zone at some point and you're just going to be bored. I'm just blow drying her under down here because it's the hair underneath, and it just needs the ends to be like a little, have some movement. So she has movement, but she really does have really straight hair. So, okay, don't drop your dryer. Don't drop your scissors. Trust me, you drop them, they break. They're expensive. So if you can't section hair while you're holding the dryer, just turn it off and set it down. When you put clips in people's hair, just say, that doesn't hurt, right? Okay. Make sure you're not hurting them. Most people should get tired while you're doing their hair because it feels so good. You'll be like, so relaxed. Okay, so now I'm working around her occipital bone, and she wants volume, so now I'm going to start blow drying up. Straight up 180 off the top of her head. Basically like over directing from that point. Your hair's dry now, isn't it? Okay, so wait, is your partner in here? Okay, so I was gonna like give you guys directions so everybody can kind of watch how it was done also. So I'll let you guys start blow drying. Yeah, I did like at that competition. I wanted to do the Audrey Hepburn like updo, and I did not know how to tease hair properly, and so I spent quite a few hours trying to figure it out. So that was kind of cool because I need it for myself and now I use it on my clients. So. And then I've learned like over time the right product to use when you're doing a bump. Like I start out with hairspray and it won't last. Hairspray is alcohol based and usually it just evaporates after like an hour. When I do updos on people, I tell them hairspray yourself every hour on the hour. Just because they usually won't do that anyway, but at least, they just keep spraying it to hold it in place. Then I went to spray wax because it wasn't alcohol based, and it would hold the hair in like tight where I was teasing it, but it was a little too like waxy, and it would kind of like make the hair look oily. It would hold, but it was I don't know, it wasn't the right texture. And then I started using dry shampoo, which helped. Then they came out with grit, the powder grit. Have you guys the sticky powder grit? And that was it. That stuff's like perfect. It's not waxy. It's not gonna like evaporate, and it literally just locks it in. I use Redken. Sally's has like 3 or 4 different brands. I use Redken shampoo and Redken powder grit and Redken like curl creams for people. And I use Shades EQ for toners. I will tell you guys though, I went to a chemistry class long time ago. What he said was so interesting, and you can, whatever you have to type in, but he said that bleach is designed to open the cuticle and pull the hair, the color out. If you use temporary colors, the bleach doesn't work the same on those. Because it works inside your cuticle, not on the outside of the hair. So like, you won't get the same result with a temporary color and bleach that you would if you just use. So sometimes I use Shades, which is a demi-permanent, which opens the cuticle a little bit and deposits. And sometimes I'll just use like 5 or 10 volume developer and use Wella and just use like a G. If you put a neutral color, if I were to put a neutral color on her right now, she would be mud on her ends. Don't ever put, for low whites, a neutral color, unless you want mud. If you want mud, great. If you want dark, great.
You use all the flex.
I haven't sitting in my salon, like a little tester thing of it, but I haven't used it yet. Have you guys been using it? Huh? Yeah. Like, love it, or? For me in product, people are trying to sell, okay? They're brilliant. They're great. Do it. If you can think of something particular that you want to sell, I say go for it. We're in LA. There's huge manufacturing places right around here. Like Big Sexy Hair is manufactured here. If you can think of a product you want to sell, do it. Don't wait. We have the resources here. But the bottom line is it's just all marketing. It's marketing because bottom line, you could just use it.
So how do you make it gentler without the other?
Just lower your developer. Just don't use 40. Okay, here's another trick. Don't ever use, okay, I'm not going to say don't ever use 40. I have clients that come in and they want me to chew up their hair. Like I have a lady, she's got really, like she's really thin, and if you bleach someone's hair, you're expanding their hair by 20%. So she likes her hair to get really like damaged because she keeps it really short anyway, and it makes her hair look fuller. So I use 40 on her. But if you have somebody that's a 5 or a 4 or a 3 and they want blonder, lighter hair, a really good way to do it, but it takes a long time, is you start with like a 30. Shampoo their hair and then go to a 20. And if shampoo their hair again, and if you need to, you can go down to a 10. And because of that, like, downgrading of your developer, you do a lot less damage that way. If you do 20 and 20, you do more damage. I don't know why. I'm not exactly sure the science, but I learned that in the chemistry class too. So start high and work your way down. You can go all the way down to 5. So you can get somebody. It's just going to take you forever, and you need to charge for your time. It might be even smart to just say, like, if someone needs their hair color corrected, or if somebody's like dark and wants to go light, just be like, okay, I charge by the minute. Don't charge them while they're sitting under the dryer, but charge them while you're putting stuff in. Because those are tricky. Those are 2 very tricky types of hair.
Which bleach do you like?
Huh? Oh, me too. I use other bleaches. I use the blue bleach. I use, kaleidoscope, up to 7, all that stuff. Again, it's marketing. We just bleach. B2W is like B2W, 2B2W, whatever, BW2. It works. It goes on sale for like $17.99. As long as you use the right developer, you make sure you know your canvas you're working with, and you use the right level of developer, you're going to get the result you want. And I honestly barely ever tone people. I barely ever tone. It just wastes time. You can't really charge the same as if you're like, highlighting hair. And so I always try to achieve the color I want the first time. And that's it. And then and then they're out. So I really don't tone all the time. VO5 hot oil treatment is the bomb. I'm just saying. It's old, but it's like, it works. Put that on somebody and put them under a dryer for a while, and they'll love you when you're done. Not everybody needs it. You just have to know what you're working with. You have to know what the person's going to need before you start. Yeah.
Those brushes that you're using with that tip at the end.
Love it.
With this beautiful.
Because it just sections. I love it. So I get these at Salon Centric.
Oh.
But I feel like Cosmoprof has them now too. And see how I'm just sectioning her now because by keeping this section up in a clip, it is drying as I go, but it's drying like in the direction I want it to dry, like up. So I'm okay with that. And plus her hair smooths out really nice. So Yeah, so always do like G's when you're doing low light. Don't do a neutral. G's are usually like the next step into the, they don't have as much red, they're just golden. But don't use a neutral for low lights. Oh, I always say for hair color, the more the merrier. Okay, 2 colors in a hair is okay. Like base and a color, it's okay, base and a highlight. But if you pick 3 colors, you start getting magic. I promise, okay? Also, remember, when you're doing people's hair, remember what they can see, okay? So make sure you put your pops of magic, like where they can see it, you know? Those little pieces here, those are your like money pieces. I love pictures. I love for people to show me pictures because sometimes people can't communicate very well. And they say one thing, but they didn't mean that. And you're like,
What do you usually charge for?
how much do I charge? 45. Until she gets really good at it. And then she'll start raising her prices. If you work on Friday nights, Fridays and Saturdays, and just say like blow dries, A, you'll get good at them, and B, you'll make a lot of money.
Do you have rules for your assistant?
Huh?
Do you have rules for your assistant?
Rules?
Yeah. Like when you go to client,
When they blow dry hair?
like don't kill my client or
Oh, you know what's so funny? Okay, so everybody's gonna be different with this. I have an assistant that's been working with me for 5 years. When she came to me, she had worked for some lady. Don't let anyone treat you like crap, okay? She worked for this lady who really just like, she didn't respect her. There wasn't good chemistry. She talked down to her, treated her like she didn't know anything. She wasn't there. She wasn't trying to teach her. Like, if you're going to have an assistant, you kind of need to know you're going to have to teach them. Yeah. Like, don't get an assistant if you think you're not going to be educating them. And she stayed with her for a long time and worked with her, and it like beat her up, like psychologically. You know, she's like, you can't mix the color. I have to mix the color. Like, she was just a control freak. Just be nice to the people you work with, first of all. But like, don't let anyone. There's plenty of people out there that need assistance. All you have to do is look. You will find it. I promise. If you just stay at home and don't look, you're not going to find anything. If you don't do the work to try to find a job, you won't. You know, just be willing to like not be lazy and just get out and pound the pavement. Get dressed up, do your hair, get your cute outfit on, and LA's huge. You know, do a 20-mile radius and go check out places that you might be interested in working for. Don't walk into a salon if you're like, or if you're like, oh, I can't work here, it's too much. Don't walk in. Go to places that you would want to, you feel comfortable with, where you get the vibe. I say water seeks its own level. Basically, that's the idea. It's like if you're getting, you know it feels right. But don't let somebody treat you like crap because you need the money. It's not worth it. You might stress out about finances temporarily, but in the end, you won't. You'll find something else.
actually.
Okay, so you're ombre.
No students are in.
Okay, so she's what level is she? What's her base?
Like a 7.
Yeah, 6. It's like a 6. Her regrowth is a 6. This is more like a 7 ash. So her hair is going to be easier to highlight than your hair. And so once you start doing color a lot, you'll start to realize like that it's going to take you longer. It's going to take me longer to get your hair to look good ombre than it will for me to make her hair look good ombre. So it's not always about length of hair. Sometimes it's about thickness, and sometimes it's about like the end result.
So what? 100?
So like, okay, for you, for ombre, what would I do? So I'd start with 30 volume, and I'd weave a lot of your hair, a lot, and then I'd shampoo you, and I would weave your hair again, because I would try to get it like as light as I could with the 30, and then you'd probably be under the dryer for like 45 minutes, and then I'd shampoo you, and then I would take and look at my result, and I would mix probably 20 volume, and I would probably mix like a 9A, and I would probably mix a 7G. And then I would just do my finishing touch weave to make it look really pretty. So I put some 7G around your face. Depending on, I wouldn't make you really blonde up here because you have a level 3 hair. You know, so it's not going to grow out pretty. Unless you really want a high maintenance hair, then you're going to have to come back more often, but that's fine. So I would talk to you about that in the beginning. If I had less clients, I would make their hair more high maintenance. I would do like their blonde all the way, but because I'm always so busy, I tend to make my clients, I tell them what's lower maintenance. Because I need them to not come back so soon. Because I'm half mom, I'm half hairstylist. And the mom part's more important to me. So, eventually, I'll want to have more hours as a hairstylist. But I'm putting a lot of effort into this, but and also, by the way, it takes you like 3 appointments to really get used to a client. So, you have to, not just their personality, but I'm talking like their hair. Their scalp, their hair, the way that their color pools, all that stuff. It's not like, it can be good. The first appointment can be really good. The second appointment's usually better. And by the third appointment, I'm like, okay, I got this. Takes a little while. What's that?
Have you heard of like the diamond sectioning technique for like highlighting or balayaging?
Like,
No, it's like they like section it like literally like a diamond. Like it's
I feel like, because I just took a Sebastian class, I feel like they talked about that in there.
And I'm just wondering, like, what's the overall effect? Like, what does it create?
Okay, so this is another marketing thing. Okay, so if you're Sebastian, you're a big company, and you want to sell your product, you also have to do something else for a hairstylist, and that's education, which is awesome. And what's going to happen, you're going to go to these classes, and you're going to hear a lot of information, but you're probably only going to need to use a couple things. So they come up with these like really fancy ways of cutting hair. Like Icon has amazing like hair cutting like graphs and charts. Do they come in here, Icon? No. No? Okay. That's too big for her britches. Sebastian, they have their whole like team of educators. My experience is, well, you're gonna have to follow their hair. Like some people, their scalp is just like, you have to look at how their hair falls, where they part, and then you just place the foils in where you know they're gonna be needed. And the balayage is just basically like, just doing that. Balayage, don't they like put the plastic too now? I feel like originally balayage, you didn't put anything. You just put the bleach on and sat it down. And I remember being like amazed by that. I'm still scared of that. But I will say, I have like put people in my shampoo bowl laying back and balayage them around their face. And it didn't bleed. So if you just have to be in a controlled environment, ready to like get it out if you see bleeding. What I kind of, okay, because I don't want to be like that person that does the same thing forever. So I want to know what styles are out there, but we're all really lucky because now we have Pinterest. So we can see what styles are out there that are popular. But when you, like I do this, I color the hair, like my retouch is exactly the same every time. Like that's it's just gonna be monotonous. It is what it is. It's gonna be the same. My highlights, I do the same every time. The reason I do it, mostly, I mean I tweak for scalp, but the reason I do that is because then I know I don't ever have to think about, wait, what side did I put in first? What do I want to wash out first? Front to back, and front to side, ear to ear. And then I have all my 4 sections. And I do right front, left back, right back. And when I get to the back, I start from the top and work my way down. And I do it that way every single time for 2 reasons. Well, front first, because I start timing when the front's finished. And 2, when I do it the same way every time, I never miss a spot. So like, if you just kind of put it in everywhere, like willy-nilly, what will happen at the shampoo bowl is you'll be like, oh, holy crap. Like there's this one spot, right? Or back here you'll have like one spot. Or like here you'll have one spot that you missed. And when you have to process somebody for 30 minutes after their color's in, then you just wasted so much time. And it'll mess up your schedule, especially when you have people coming in right afterward. Like, it's just a waste of time. So just, if you do it the same, it's boring. But what ends up happening after you've been doing hair long enough is the hair part isn't what entertains you, it's the people and the conversation. They'll never leave. I have a couple, they say like, there's some 80-20 rule of economics. Have any of you heard this? 20% of your clients you don't really want. And I'm too nice to be like, can you just not come back ever? I have a lady that comes all the time and she's never happy. And in my head I'm like, why do you come to me? At some point I might actually just say that to her. It's like, why do you come? I did fire one client before. One time I fired somebody. And I was a total chicken and did it by text. But it worked.
Did it by text?
Yeah. I broke up with her by text. But I realized she was doing the sneakiest thing. So I had her for like 4 years. And she'd come like every 3 months. And then one time a year, and it wasn't until the 4th year that I realized this was a pattern, she would like be upset about her hair. And when I was new, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'll fix it, you know, oh, don't worry, it's free, don't worry, you don't have to pay. So finally the 4th year, she started fake crying into her hands because she said I cut her bangs too short, which I did not. Barely even touched her bangs, and her bangs were like down here. And then she left. She didn't pay. She left. Didn't pay for her color, her wig, nothing. She was so upset and distraught. She left, and then it clicked. She's been doing this for 4 years. So she's basically getting free for the, like, you know, she's getting 1 free every year. People, I'm serious, some people will do anything to get a deal. So, yeah, I just texted her and I said, you know, I think it's better if you find another salon. She never texted me back, but she also never came back. So it was easy. Could I have done this like really faster? Probably. This blow dry will last her like a couple days till she has to shampoo. Another trick is if you spray. I read this somewhere recently where if you after a blow dry, if you do dry shampoo right away, it extends the life of your blow dry. Hairspray lasts for like I don't know, like 30 minutes. Can you scoot over for me? Oh, sorry. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So she likes volume. She wanted curl. Her hair is now I know. Like next time, I would just use a curling iron on you to get you. Like if you wanted a beach wave or something, like I would just because, you know, why fight the spend the effort and fight with a round brush when you can just take a curling iron and do it. And you want more volume, right? You like volume? Okay, so yay, I'll show you guys my bump. And then remind me to talk about my database, because you guys should know about that too.
Yes.
And by the way, the other thing, if you want, I can talk about, but I don't want to harp like a mother, but you all are self-employed. You need to be saving money. If you don't have a habit of it now, in 10 years, you will be freaking out. Because we all are going to have to retire, and I promise you, Social Security will not cover what you need. So, there's do you have that Prime America person come here?
No.
She should come.
She won't
Somebody.
do it anymore. Yeah.
Because she wasn't, probably because even when she came and I was like, I don't know. But afterward, I ended up getting get a mutual fund. Get a conservative mutual fund and forget about it. Have it debited out of your checking and forget about it. It's not money. It's not there. You cannot have it. You cannot touch it until you're 65. Because you can't be doing hair until you're 75. I hate to break it to you. Your arms are going to give. Your elbows, your wrists. This is a very physical career. So, I don't know what the statistics are, but I'm sure the lifespan of a hairstylist is probably in 25 years, you're going to be hurting for certain. So, have a backup plan.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If that lady came back, what would you have done?
What would I have done?
After the text message shows up for her hair.
Just shows up?
What would you
To my house?
Yeah, what would you do?
Daniel! That's my husband. No, I totally would have addressed it at that point. It's just I just tend to be non-confrontational. So, I would have just said, you know what, I feel like you're taking advantage of me. I just would have said that. Let her talk. Sometimes when you just let people talk, they dig their own hole. So, what does it say? Honesty is always the best policy.
And you just let
Just
her
be
walk
honest.
away. You let her walk away without paying.
Yeah, because for me, if my people aren't happy, then I don't charge them for it. If somebody's really unhappy, I'm well, let me fix it.
But at least if you did coloring and haircut and she's not happy about the haircut, at least pay for the coloring, right?
Yeah, no, I should have.
Yeah.
You probably would. Okay, so I start about, 2 inches up, and I pack it down, okay? And that is the key. Don't let this all get messy. You're only packing in from here to here, and you're packing it in tight, okay? And you're going to just do that, and you are pulling taut on the hair and packing it in. Sorry if this hurts.
No.
Pack it in, pack it in. Let me begin. Okay, so that's your first section right there, right? Drop it forward. Don't drop it right in her face, kind of just drop it. Be cognizant of what's happening to their face. Drop it to the side. Okay. The next sections after that are paper thin. Okay?
Why?
Because these will get even tighter.
So you don't work this into the scalp at all, then?
Work it. This product? No. Mm-mm.
Just big and
You
sexy
just
makes
sprinkle
more sense.
it. And I probably won't even, on these next couple sections, I probably won't even need the product. But I start at 2 inches and I pack it in tight. Paper thin. Pack it in tight. And I crisscross like this. So I'm getting enough volume on each side. This will not come out until you brush it out tonight. Which is
gonna use hairspray.
not normal. Huh? No. Hairspray? To be honest with you, I don't use hairspray that much. I'm telling you, it evaporates. It might look great while
What is
they.
that doing to your hair?
Well, it's basically locking it in, messing it up, and then the product holding it in that place. When you brush it out, be gentle. And I do tell my clients that all the time. Especially with updos. Be gentle when you brush it out. Don't rip through your hair.
Do you do a lot of updos?
Not a ton. And besides, most updos right now are just curls and braids. So to me, that's not a real updo. It's just a style. So I do those. Do I do a lot? I'm not one of those people that do them every weekend. Those people make bank, by the way. That's a great way to.
How about the bride?
They charge like $400 for bride.
Do you do bride?
Sometimes it depends on the bride. It's like usually it's already one of my clients.
So you do the makeup?
Friends, family makeup. Makeup. I do makeup, but I don't do makeup. Like, I don't do it regularly. I tell people if they're like, will you do my makeup? I'm like, give me a picture. I'll do it. I'm okay at makeup, but it's not my expertise. So, yeah, I'm a cosmetologist, but I'm telling you, if you become to master something, if you're doing 20 different things, like if you go into film, when film, they really need like makeup artists that know how to style hair. So you're doing makeup and styling. You're not doing coloring, you're not doing cutting. You might cut a little like randomly, but it's not like, they're still just doing pretty basic stuff. What I was trying to do is come up with the hard costs and the soft costs of what it costs to do business. Because we had, we did that in HR and for HealthNet. There's hard costs, like you're going to have to pay for water, you're going to have to pay for power, you're going to have, your chair rental. All those things are hard costs. With the shampoo, I was like trying to figure out what the soft costs of doing a client is. Bottom line, a person walks into your chair, let's say they sit in your chair, it's going to cost you an average, some people will be more, some people will be less, $10 every time that person sits there. That's the price of doing business. That's the power, your rent, the water, your product, your comb, your brushes, your scissors, keeping things like replenished, your product, all that stuff. Minimum, it's a $10 fee. It's going to cost you $10. If you count on that, $10 per person, it's just a good number to know. You're not going to charge people less than 10, that's for sure. And you're not going to charge them 10 either, because then it's free. Yeah. And then you guys are in school. I know you talk about index cards to keep track. It's way better for me, because I don't know how to do databases. Like if somebody in here knows Access, then you can do your own database. But I went online. I wanted a web-based database because I don't want my computer crashing and me lose everything. So I went online, I researched, and I found a really cool database that you put all your clients' information. It's $25 a month. You put all your clients' information in there, and it's everything from like formula, what you put in, general notes. You have all their appointments they've ever made. You can put notes in there about their family, their kids, what vacation they went. So you can get in the habit of, after every client, just really quick like putting some notes in there, and then it keeps track of everything you spent, what you made. They have a retail side of it. They also have a marketing tool where if you you're like, next month I'm gonna, now I'm just like gently setting them back in place where I want them to be. And then I'll use my tail to like form it. But if like you go, next month I'm gonna do all my root retouches, like say you want to build up all your gray hair clients, because those are money makers. You're like, I'm gonna do root retouches for $20. So they have a marketing where you can send out an email to everybody that's in your database and say, hey, root retouches are $20 next month, and you'll get like a bunch of phone calls. The other thing I found that ended up being a problem for me was I started out using my own personal cell phone, and then I get so busy that I was like super overwhelmed, and I felt like I needed to compartmentalize like personal and work. So I think I spend like another $25 or $30 a month. I have another cell phone. I went on like Amazon and bought like a used iPhone, and I got a cool number. It's like 64 Kelli, whatever. And then like I I just started at the beginning giving everybody that number. Some of you may not, like, for me, just having kids and doing a million things, like, I needed to be off work when I was off work. It was just more, it was more peace of mind for me. So again, more of those hard costs of doing business, you know, the cell phone's $30 and the database is $25, but I never forget a formula. And it's kind of cool when your client comes back. You won't remember, I mean, unless you have one of those like elephant memories. I do not. I don't remember anything ever, which I always say makes me a really forgiving person. But it's cool when your clients come in and you're like, hey, how was Yosemite? You know, because you won't remember after you have like 200 clients. You may remember some, but you won't remember all of them. So you kind of need that database to like. Okay. So now I'll let you guys you'll walk around after. But so I got the back bump in there, but I just want her to have some more volume in the front. So it's not like bump and nothing. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of this product in her hair up here and give her a little bounce up here too.
How long does it usually takes you to finish a blow dry?
I can do a cut and a blow dry in 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
So all my clients, like a haircut blow dry is a 30-minute appointment. A root retouch is a 30-minute appointment. Sometimes it takes a little longer for certain people, but my root retouches don't really take 30 minutes, so I usually have a little bit of time to work with. And yeah, I just book everything every 30 minutes. And then
How long do you let your color process?
from the time I'm all done putting it in, I set the timer for 20 minutes. Or I'll put it in the front and I'll look at the time and I'll know 30 minutes from when the front is done. It takes about 10 minutes to put the back in.
So it's not the 45 minutes after you're done.
So then what happens is when I'm done, she sits for 30 minutes and usually like 10 till or 20 after, my assistant will start shampooing her. And that is in a perfect world. But it works out most of the time. Okay, so basically the way I started is I started cutting my son and my husband's hair. Because my husband's too cheap. And he was like, cut my hair. So I don't know what I'm doing. That's how I started. So I started doing it, and then I just liked it. So I do their hair, and then I started doing my own hair, started doing my own color, my own cuts. And then I started, it's funny because I would go to work, and I'd get there in the morning, and at least 2 or 3 people would be like, fix it, the bangs, do something. They just always wanted their hair braided or up or just fix their bangs, hairspray. It just became kind of a funny thing. And I kind of like putting this on the ends a little bit because it just has a really good hold. I just like this stuff. Okay. There's your volume.
Wow.
Looks great.
And it'll fall a little bit as time goes on, but it will still be in there tonight.
I like it.
Okay. Here's the blow dry.
Good job.
It's so soft that sometimes, guys, you just won't want to use this. It's going to take you, for little kids or really baby fine hair, you'll use the wet brush because it's gentle. But you're going to need a real brush to get through women's hair. And just start from the bottom, be gentle, and work your way up. I wanted to say that. I think.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, Kelly.
Welcome.